Then we moved to Brooklyn. Well, we were already in Brooklyn. We moved to Bensonhurst, which was a lovely place to live. It wasn't the middle of the city. There was a farm. There was still a farm there. We knew the owners. I used to talk to the little boy that lived there. And there was room. There were big open lots, sort of little fields that you could play in. And it was right near the river, and you could walk down to the river. We could go swimming there. We were within walking distance of going swimming. It was a lovely place to live. Now it's Bensonhurst, and it has a bad reputation. That's a very racist city, racist part of the city, and it was dominated. Then when I lived there, it was dominated by the mafia, so it was very safe. You could walk in the streets at night. Nothing would ever happen to you. The mafia were in charge. You'd be surprised what a difference it made for a Brooklyn area at that time. It was Italians and Jews. There was one street of blacks. And you played on your street, or you had games, contests with the next street, but you never walked on the Italian streets. You only walked on the Jewish streets, or else you'd be chased. But they played sort of baseball with the end of a mop for a bat, and in the street, so that we had to watch not only for the balls but for the cars. Everybody played in the streets. We used to play games running across the streets. King of the Hill. And then there was one other game where we used to Rover, why don't you come over? Yeah. That was it. Why don't you come over? So we used to play in the streets. We used to play ball on the porch, on the steps. I was a lousy athlete. I was always the last one called to be on a team. I've never been a good athlete. I close my eyes anytime a ball comes near me, and I can never catch it because I can't see where it is. So I was always the last one picked. Didn't bother me. I knew I wasn't an athlete. I remember we were very poor. I had like one dress to go to synagogue with, or parties with, or anything. I had one dress and one pair of shoes for things like that. And that was it. The rest were skirts and blouses. Monopoly started, and everybody wanted to have a Monopoly set, and we didn't have enough money to buy a Monopoly set. So we collected flyers, that people would hand out for one thing or another, and we made the money out of flyers, and we got some cardboard and made a board, and found all the other things we needed, and we copied the board and made a complete, this friend of mine and me, made a complete Monopoly set ourselves. Huh? I did for a long time, because it was unique. So we managed. And this friend that lived next door, they were so poor, they had a one-bedroom apartment, and they rented out the bedroom so they could pay the rent, and the mother and the daughter slept in the living room. We made our own Monopoly set, the two of us. We were both poor. And what did we do besides make Monopoly sets and play Monopoly and play stoop ball? You hit the stoop. Stoop is about 4 steps, and if you hit the middle of between the steps and you caught it, it was 1 point. If you hit the edge of the stoop, and that would make the ball go higher for some reason, I don't remember why, then you got 2 points, and we used to play this game all the time, and Red Rover, to come over, or something like that. We played in the streets. We played inside, and mostly we played in the streets, not inside the houses, unless it was raining or something. In the library. We all went to the library. That was the most important place, and there was a library about 5 blocks away from our house. And we used to go there all the time. That's where our reading material came from. Read whole series of books, the twins on foreign lands, about children in different countries. I remember that series. And all the other children's series. That some still exist now. Girls books, kinds of reading material. And I went to Hebrew school, but it didn't last very long. I forget. Oh, we had no money to pay the school. That's why it didn't last. I started piano lessons, and again, I didn't have the money to buy the book, the piano lesson book. So that ended that. Besides, I was so clumsy, not just my feet, but my hands, that I couldn't coordinate my hands. So that was not so good. When I got to high school, I started to play the flute. But I didn't have enough breath even then for the flute. All these things I tried and wasn't successful in any of them. That didn't bother me much. It was nice because my older sister and my younger sister played the piano, and I couldn't do it. That really bothered me.